Welcome back to Silverstone and the F3 Cup here on the National Circuit. First race of the day saw Toby Sowery doing enough to claim the 2014 F3 Cup crown. Since then, conditions have worsened considerably and it's a treacherous circuit that greets the drivers. Lloyd, race 1 winner, lines up from pole. Alongside him this time round, Henry Chart. Then row 2, Toby Sowery and Tristan Cliff, Hamilton Smith and Tony Bishop blocking out the third row. It's a very sodden grid on which the cars line up, and it's a real art to get a Formula 3 car off the line in wet conditions. As we wait in car with Tristan Cliff, the red lights to come on, which they do now. It's a very short hold, and Cliff eases the car off the line as Henry Chart bogs down. Cliff leaps through into second place, and here will Lloyd it is who's going to lead into Copse for the first time. The other driver who has a wretched getaway is Champion Sowery, who gets caught in the midfield as they turn through Copse and accelerate on their way. Lloyd leads then as they head towards Beckett's. Behind there's plenty of jostling position as Toby Sowery looks to recover. He moves past Stuart Wiltshire. He eases to the inside of Louis Hamilton Smith, so that's 2 places gained fairly rapidly for Toby Sowery as he then looks to pick up the pace, accelerating out of Beckett's and down the National Straight on towards Brooklands through the ball of spray being kicked up by the race leader Hillwell Lloyd. A great scrap going on for second place as Henry Chart crawls all over the tail of Tristan Cliff. A pair of them turning through Brooklands and then around Luffield before they accelerate on towards Woodcote, which is utterly treacherous. Whether they're always used to traditionally be a little bit of a stream across the road just at the apex of Woodcote. Oh, and a problem on the first lap. Disappointment there for Lee McCrumblish, who rotates into the gravel trap, and Lee's race is run fairly early on. So Lloyd has got the benefit of a reasonably clear visor. Nobody else does. They're having to use their peripheral vision to pick out the various reference points around the circuit as they head on towards Beckett's once more. Tristan Cliff looking to consolidate second place. He won't be challenged by Henry Chart this time as there is still recovery going on for McCrumblish's car. And then we have got Toby Sowery in fourth and looming ominously. So Sowery, despite the poor getaway, recovering very nicely. That's really been the story of the season. Even when things haven't gone quite Sowery's way, he's always bounced back in the best possible fashion. He'll be looking to sign off this championship-winning weekend with 2 class victories if he possibly can, because Hillwell Lloyd, the race leader, is in an F308. An invitation class car as around goes Tristan Cliff. He just gets caught out, maybe by some standing water on the Exeter Woodcote. He recovers very quickly, gets the car back in gear, but it puts him down the pack. It promotes then Henry Chart into second position. Toby Sowery in third, looking to contest as best he can. Accelerates out of Copse on towards Beckett. Still yellow flags being displayed, so it's now Henry Chart who can take a momentary breather as the recovery work is ongoing. It's almost complete. And of Beckett's en route towards Brooklands, kicking up the spray. Henry Chart, Toby Sowery following in that ball of spray behind because he knows that's where the slipstream and the tow comes from. Then he just ducks out. Takes a couple of reference points as to where Brooklands is. Realises that he is perfectly on course. As the pair of them run side by side into Luffield and just understeering ever so slightly there. Henry Chart, he tries to gather it all back up, which he more or less does. Plants his right foot and propelled onwards. That is a sad way for Lee McCrumblish to end his race. Race leader Hillwell Lloyd romping clear, as I said, in an invitation class car on the Lara F308s that will be eligible for the championship next season. Chart just far enough adrift now of Lloyd not to be concerned with the spray, but he should be concerned with Toby Sowery, who finds some space to the inside into Beckett's. Now, can he make that move stick? I don't think he quite can. He found himself running out of road, and what happened there for Toby Sowery was he got onto the conventional racing line, which in wet weather is the slickest and slipperiest part of the circuit. But Henry Chart now knows that Sowery's coming, he defends, and Sowery, if he sticks to the outside line here at Brooklands, is going to find plenty of grip, and that's exactly what he does. And so Toby Sowery around the outside of Henry Chart. He then finds the grip to the outside of Luffield and moves up into second place in the race overall. It's the head of the Cup runners, and therefore Sowery en route to do the double. Lloyd continues to lead. Now, how quickly can Toby Sowery break away from Henry Char? The answer is really reasonably rapidly. He was really 4 or 5 car lengths clear as the pair of them turn through Copse Corner, up over the slight brow in the road, and then on towards Beckett's. Behind Lee Morgan and Mark Harrison picking their way through the spray. A pair of them in just behind Jonathan Weston Taylor. It's been a slightly trying weekend this for Lee Morgan, who started the season so brightly, winning from the Jedi champion. Meanwhile, Tristan Cliff's recovery is ongoing. This is the fight for 4th in the race overall. Louis Hamilton-Smith just ahead of Cliff. And Cliff looking every which way. And he got caught out once earlier on the race. And he knows that these conditions, the power of the Formula 3 car, if deployed over enthusiastically, we'll see him tipped into a spin almost immediately. Through towards Copse Corner. Hamilton-Smith just got an advantage over Tristan Cliff as the sun begins to lure in the sky as well. Fortunately, it's not raining. The try line hasn't really emerged either, has it? So Cliff closes up onto the tail of Hamilton-Smith, trying to force nobody we possibly can. Hamilton-Smith doing exactly what he needs to do. Tristan Cliff taking a much tighter exit from Beckett. I'm not sure that's going to give him the advantage that he wants. Harrison looking to progress and make progress. Jonathan Weston Taylor. Just ahead of him is a spin for Nick Robinson. Nick spinning away his hopes. Hasn't lost the engine though, gets it in gear, immediately rejoins the action. So now Tristan Cliff's got the good run here on Louis Hamilton-Smith. He's going to go for the manoeuvre to the inside into Brooklands. You can hear him feathering the throttle. He's having to be so gentle here. And Hamilton-Smith just finds a bit more momentum to the grippy outside line. You can get a sense in Cliff just how difficult these conditions are, and we're heading towards the last couple of laps of the race as well. So Tristan Cliff is running out of time here. Toby Sowery well up the road ahead of them. Hamilton-Smith and Cliff continuing to squabble on towards Beckett's and Tristan Cliff. Now, which line will he take this time? Really, he just needs to take the same approach as Hamilton-Smith and then maybe get on the power fractionally earlier. That will give him the advantage heading down the National Straight, and that's more or less exactly what happens. Now, if Cliff can take advantage of the slipstream given off by Hamilton-Smith, which he does, he's going to be in a perfect position to challenge into Brooklands. He comes out of the toe nice and early, darts to the inside, and this time he should make the move stick again. He's having to be very delicate, checks to see where Hamilton-Smith is, and he gets caught out. The rear of the car snaps away from him. Louis Hamilton-Smith takes evasive action as Tristan Cliff clatters into the Armco barrier, and I think he's dinked the suspension. Indeed he does, and so that is the race run for Tristan Cliff. For Hillwell Lloyd, there have been no such problems. It's been another very fine performance from the Welshman, who we've all known for years has got the talent, and once more he gets the opportunity to demonstrate it at the wheel of a single-seater car as he accelerates through. The checker flag is poised, ready and waiting, and Hillwell Lloyd does the double in the F3 Cup at Silverstone, emphatically so. Once more, another very, very fine performance. It's then going to be a little bit of a wait for our second place man, Toby Sowery, to come through and take the flag. So look at the results. Hillwell Lloyd wins it. Sowery, second place, winning the Cup class in the race from Henry Chart and Louis Hamilton-Smith. Great drive from Jonathan Weston Taylor for 9th and trophy class honours. So in the championship race, well, Sowery crowned, and Tristan Cliff pretty solid in second place. Lee Morgan and Louis Hamilton-Smith third, up for grabs in the final meeting of the year at Snetterton. So that's it for Silverstone. Join us in a few weeks' time with all the action for the concluding rounds of the season.